African woman marrying a white man. And it is not the fact that they are marrying white men that is even annoying and perturbing. That is not it. If you have decided to marry a white man, marry a presentable white man.
So guys, I woke up this morning and I went to my TikTok page and I saw a lot of people tagging me on this particular lady's page.
The colonizers' wives have started stitching my video.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, and today in today's video, I feel like the sister we are going to be featuring in today's episode woke up and chose violence here because she decided to gather all African women, but particularly the ones who normally go for white people, to marry white people. She gathered them and I feel like she told them the truth in a hard way.
Right, and I feel like her message was good, but the way she delivered it is what is bringing the violence on social media, right? Because specifically some Africans who are married to, who are interracial couples, felt particularly attacked by this lady, and this brought some discourse on social media between her and African women in interracial relationships.
Right, guys, what did she have to say about this? Let's watch and then we come back and talk about it. You can let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. For now, let's watch and then we come back and talk about it.
So guys, let me tell you guys one thing I have actually failed to understand. Why is every African woman marrying a white man? And it is not the fact that they are marrying white men that is even annoying and perturbing. That is not it. If you have decided to marry a white man, marry a presentable white man. Marry a white man with money. Marry a white man we can look at and say, okay. Why are you marrying nonsense? Why are you marrying a madman from the USA that used to be in the mental hospital? Then he escaped from the mental hospital and came to Africa. Booked his first flight to Africa. That is that you have decided to settle with. As per why? Why? Is it because we want half-caste kids? What are you looking for? Like, guys, I don't understand it. I have failed to understand it. Do I sound like I'm ranting? Yes, I am. Because it doesn't make any type of sense at all. I just saw this girl from Nigeria on TikTok. She just got married to this man. The man has never even smiled in any of her videos. Then, allegedly, this man is a rapist abroad, wherever he's coming from. He has married before in Kenya and the wife divorced him. Why are you people marrying this man? Why? Why would you marry a poor colonizer? Why would you marry a poor colonizer? As per what are you going through in life? What are you going through in life that you'd be marrying a poor white man? Why are you even talking to poor white men? Eh? Somebody was mad in the USA. Somebody was mentally unstable. He was just released from prison. He got his $300 or $200. You know, flights from there to here for them are very cheap. He got his $200, $300, came to Africa with $1,000 like this. Came to settle in Africa. And now you're just seated on this man's chest very happy. Why would you put your ancestors in that situation? Why would you put your ancestors in that situation? Now your ancestors are just rolling in the grave because you have decided to marry poor white man. Why? Why, my sister? Explain. Why are you with a poor white man? Why are all of you? Oh my God, guys, I'm frustrated on you people's behalf. Like, I don't know. I'm too frustrated on you people's behalf.
So guys, there was a user who came out to respond, and she was being told if the shoe fits, please wear it with grace, because this creator did not mention anybody whatsoever.
She spoke generally.
But the next one we are going to be playing you came out feeling personally attacked, you know. So let's watch her response and then we come back and talk about it.
So guys, I woke up this morning and I went to my TikTok page and I saw a lot of people tagging me on this particular lady's page about interracial couple, black women dating white men. So I'll play the video for you guys to listen to what she said.
Why is every African woman marrying a white man? Why are you marrying nonsense? Why are you marrying a madman from the USA?
So first of all, before I say what I have to say, let me correct her about one thing. Not every black or African woman wants to marry or date a white man. Like she said, why does every black or African woman wants to date a white man. And also she calling out every black girl or African woman dating or marrying a white man. That's really, really rude to interracial couples. To be honest, that's really, really rude. And I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, I'm not in that category she mentioned, so you all should stop tagging me. If she doesn't really like interracial couples, she should keep her opinion to herself, because no matter how she talks on social media, that can make us black women leave people we are with and people we are happy with, people who treat us right, no matter how they look, no matter how financially they are. So a black woman being with a white man who's not good looking or has a lot of money, she's happy, my dear. She's really, really happy, and she's getting princess treatment. A lot of people who are in a relationship where there is a lot of money, he's good looking, and they treat them really bad, but they can't leave. Some just stay there for the money. So please, you all should stop coming for me and my relationship. Everyone is different, and everyone has the reason why they are in every relationship they are. So guys, I woke up this morning and I went to my TikTok page and I saw a lot of
The colonizers' wives have started stitching my video. First of all, did I mention any name? I did not mention any name. You decided to become Cinderella, young girl. You became Cinderella and the shoe fit. Wear the shoe and go. You cannot be telling me stop telling your opinion. So, am I telling my opinion on your page? Am I on your page? I'm on my page with my followers that I built for myself. Oh God, stop telling us what to do. So, if you're married to one of those colonizers that are poor, that are about to die, catch the sub and go. Why is every African woman marrying a white man?
And say what you want to say without colonizer this, colonizer that, especially on the internet. I'm like, does this girl actually have anybody that speaks to her, like advise her? She can be funny actually sometimes, but on this note, she wasn't funny at all. It was just screaming raz, uncouth. How can you come and be shouting colonizer this? And you probably want to work with brands that is owned by colonizers. Well, honestly, if a colonizer were to stand in front of you now, you will not be able to look at them because these people are long gone. How about people start blaming you for the role that your forefathers played in slavery? Would you like that? Because if we're going to talk about colonizer, colonizing, colonization, whatever, the people that colonized us did not do it on their own. They got help from some of us. They say if you point one finger to someone, the four other fingers are pointing back to you. You probably have white friends. Are you trying to say your white friends are colonizers? And then in the end of her video, she said, even if you want to marry a colonizer, marry a wealthy colonizer, a colonizer with money. What you see as wealth will not be wealth to another person.
You will not be coming here tell me, first of all, don't say your opinion. Did I tag you? Do I know you before? Do I know who you are? I don't know you. I've never seen you a day in my life. I've never seen your hard wig in my life before. This is the first time I'm seeing you. And then you're going to tell me, girl, don't tell me what to do, okay? You're not my parent. Wait until you and your colonizer give birth to children. You will tell your children what to do. You cannot come on the internet and tell us, don't give your opinion. Is it your father that created TikTok? Is this TikTok for your mother? Is this TikTok for your colonizer? Oh, God. Don't tell your opinion. Who tagged you? Do I know you before? Where do I know you from? Where do I know you from? Continue living your hard wig soft life. If that is working for you, well and good. I did not tag anyone. You decided to wear a shoe that fit you. Calm down. Let the shoe fit. Wear it. Don't come to tell me that you cannot be giving your opinion. Why are you giving your opinion? Who asked your opinion before?
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos you just played. You know, after she said this, I think we already have her name on the screen for those who want to follow her, because much as she's a comedian, she normally makes a lot of sense and comments in a comic way, comments on social issues. Yeah, and I do feel like she asked a genuine interesting question, right? And for today's episode, we just like to gather all the interracial couples, especially black people from Africa married to white people from abroad, come in front of the line and talk to us, answer this woman's question, because more often than not, especially when it comes to, let me talk about Kenya since we are in Kenya, right? Kenyan ladies who are marrying old white men, they have been accused a lot of marrying because of money. Do you think this is the case? Marrying because they want to have biracial children. Yes, and to have biracial children. So she asks,
is it worth it having biracial kids and you don't even do a background on someone you marry? You find that these people were criminals in their land, and then they come here, take up very beautiful wives, and then you find them having to mistreat these beautiful wives because...
Yeah, I feel like this was just a random day on social media until she's called Emo. She decided to choose violence, but I feel like she brought a very important topic on the table, yeah?
Right.
And what I can confirm for sure is that at least nowadays you can say things have improved and African women have become picky. Though it's just a small percentage, a lot of them still want to marry anything provided it's white, you know?
Right. And most of them have been accused of doing this because they want biracial babies and to better their genes from the melanated community.
And that's not all. Above all, they also want to better their economic
Status,
standing.
yes, and some want green cards. That is what they've been accused of. Do all of them behave like this? Only God knows, and only they themselves know for what reason they marry these white people, right? But the most important thing I feel like I got from her rant was it is very important to have background checks when marrying people. Don't just marry any Tom, Dick, and Harry because you feel like your economic standing will be improved or your babies will be genetically improved, you know?
Right, and I can confirm what she said about African women marrying, let's say, for example, criminals from America who've been expelled from their society. Now they run to Africa and in the hope of starting afresh, you know.
Right, because there was once a case in Kenya of an old white man who had a case file. He was a registered
Offender.
P
Yes.
offender. You know, he was harming babies. You can imagine whatever you're imagining, yes? He was harming babies. So when he came out of prison, he came straight to Kenya with whatever savings he had, and he rented an apartment in Kenya, even took up a very beautiful young African wife, Kenyan wife, right? And this Kenyan woman had a child, right? Only for him to later on not only harm that child, but also start harming the male children of the block, right? And when he was caught, he was actually caught by his neighbor, right? And he was sent to a Kenyan prison. And
But surprisingly, he was supposed to spend life there.
not life, I think 25 years.
But
Because
surprisingly, Africa is very corrupt. Kenya is very corrupt. He ended up paying money and he got out before his time reached. And people were surprised after all the damage.
nobody knew he was actually released. It took a big YouTuber in Kenya exposing this for the public to be made aware that he was released.
Right, and these are the kind of things I feel like the lady is talking about. Sometimes you look at a couple here in Africa, in Kenya, you look at someone, a very young, beautiful African lady with a very old, someone who's even older than their grandfather. They're marrying these people because they do believe maybe marrying into such a person's family is gonna better their life. And you know, the funny thing is that even African society needs to do better because especially these people who come from the village, the moment you marry a white person, your social status improves very much, and the respect you accorded,
yeah, with high regards, you know. And this is why we are saying it's not only black African ladies marrying white men. Also, when you marry into any race of whatever kind, it's important for you to do your background and investigation to know if the man or woman you're marrying is of moral upstanding, you know, if they are criminals or not. It's not only applicable to the white and black race. Any race you're marrying into.
Yeah, but I feel like for Africans, whatever is most important for them is for them to know that, especially here in Kenya, we call white people Mzungu. For them to know that they've been married to a Mzungu and what that is gonna do in their lives. Because I'll even talk about when you go to, even here in the city, like the modern city that Nairobi is, when you walk with a Mzungu, like the kind of respect you're given is out of this world. And I feel like that is what we call the worshipping of the white skin. Because when you go to such restaurants, if you have a Mzungu by your side, I guarantee you're gonna
the
be
first
served.
one to be served.
Exactly.
Compared to if I walk into a restaurant with my very melanated boyfriend or husband,
Right.
the interracial couple will be given extra attention and they'll be the first to be served. And I can even wait there up to 15 minutes because waiters most often they struggle or they race to serve the palm-colored people because they believe they'll get more tips as compared to when they serve me.
Right, and sometimes people don't even want those tips. Just you serving a muzungu, you feel like it's such a privilege. You want to engage and talk to this muzungu. And then, you know, the funny thing in Kenya is that you don't like access muzungu oftenly. You only the specific areas where
in Nairobi, not everywhere in Nairobi.
Not
Although
everywhere.
nowadays it's changing.
Nowadays it's changing.
You'll find muzungus everywhere. Even downtown Nairobi, they're just increasing.
They're
but
increasing
3-5 years ago,
yeah, they never used to be a common, sight for eyes. So if people come across them, they're like, you know, they want to
be associated with them on some level.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but white people, the privilege does not end in America. When they come here, the privilege is 5 times what they get in America, you know, because things are just done for them. Like, even if it's to wash their feet, Africans are going to wash their feet just so they can be close to them, you know.
But I am glad that most especially Gen Zs. Gen Zs are a different generation, you know, and they do hear about white privilege and what white people do. Not all of them, but some of them do in their countries of origin, and especially if they coexist with black people. So right now, Gen Zs, they don't worship as much the white skin as millennials going up.
Generations,
So I'm glad that aspect of Africa is changing, and people I feel waking up.
Right, I feel like the only person who felt offended by what Imo was saying was the kind of people who still, because that lady talked about something I'd like to differ, and she said we no longer have colonizers. Don't call that generation colonizers. And I feel like, what is America doing to Africa? What is France doing to Burkina Faso?
Right, and you know, just because you understand colonization as people invading a country and taking over everything, right now, colonization can't happen the same way it did years ago when they were invading Africa. Right now, neocolonialism exists through economic policies that are being passed on to African countries by Western countries, you know. So colonization right now can't exactly look the same as
itself in the same fashion.
Right.
And guys, when you look at how, okay, let me just use the simplest example that I think a lot of people can understand, including this woman, should this ever hit her page, you know, when you look at how somebody treats another person who's different, or how someone treats someone of a different skin color compared to them, someone who's not white, then you will be able to understand better. Has such a person, or people who think like her, that colonizers are long gone, have they ever experienced a white person who interacts with them and feels like they're better than them just because of their skin color? And that's a perfect example of a colonizer. They can never view you as their equal.
Perfect example of that, what we went through personally was, I don't know if it was, I think it was early this year, my sister and I, we went to a restaurant to meet a couple of friends, right? And we were just talking about life, and Maren and I had to go to the restroom, and you know, colonizer behavior. You know, colonizer behavior, even if colonization happened a long time ago, the behavior cannot exactly be eradicated in one sitting, right? So we go to the bathroom, and there was a line, right? And we were the next in line to go to the toilet, right? And then a white woman, I think she was in her middle age, right? She looked to be around late 40s, early 50s, if I'm not wrong. And she came into the toilet, and behind us were 3 more people, and then the white woman would follow. So when she entered this bathroom, it was just a funny scenario. It's like she was looking at all of us, the African women who are lined up on the restaurant bathroom. She was expecting us to excuse her so that she could go in front of all of us, right? And then she specifically looked at me and Maren like, aren't you gonna move? And we just, you know, adjusted our bodies to a position where
there's no way she could pass the line. And I'm asking myself,
she looked at us bitterly like we had done such a wrong thing. So,
and me, I was waiting for her to come and act special. You know?
And I
Anyway,
think she figured
she
out
caught
that
the
there was
vibe.
she caught the vibe. There was no way she was getting special treatment on that line.
Right, and I'm asking myself, what makes you so special to think that you're going to come to a place and seek some service?
It's
and
because long ago they were being treated as
That
special,
way,
you know. So everybody would just like literally drop everything they were doing and put them in front of the line. It has even happened in Kenyan airports and African airports too. So I think to this day they still come with that mindset where they expect everybody to put them in front of the line, but there's a special breed of generation that's waking up saying that you are not the only special people. The same way you think you're special is the same way I carry myself as a special being.
Right. Although, guys, as I say, they feel like changes are coming with different generations, because millennials going backwards, I feel like, were the ones who literally could marry anything and settle with anything. And those in Africa, it was quite normal to see a very, very young person, to say, let's say, for example, someone who's my age marrying a very old white man, you know,
To the limit of 70s, 80s. Oh my God.
Right. Imagine me marrying a 70-year-old person just because I want a white husband. You know, it used to happen like that a lot. At least nowadays, things are changing, you know.
Right.
These things are changing, but it used to happen, and it still does happen, you know. And you find out that somebody has married a violent man. They're being abused in that relationship, but they don't want to leave.
Not only that, but also because her husband is a white man, the public doesn't believe her when she says she's going through you know, DV. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section, and I do hope that, I feel like Imo gave such a public service, and I feel like these are conversations that need to be had oftenly.
Right, and I also feel like she could have put it in a different way.
No, the way she did it,
she called a spade, but okay, guys, let us know what you think about her way of delivery.
I don't see any. You know, sometimes you need to talk to people in that language they understand. And for Africans, especially those ones who have blocks, blocks between their ears, they need to be shouted at like this so that you make sure it hits the eardrums well. So I don't feel like the delivery was just okay. It was perfect. You see, it removed those ones who felt like she was talking to them.
And you know, the funny thing is, I'm not saying all of them, but for the ones who came out to complain that their husbands are not like that, maybe they could be going through PTSD because they've seen some of the traits that Imo is talking about in their partners,
if not partners, somebody along their circle.
Right.
Anyway, I think we're gonna leave it at that, guys. Let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also, consider subscribing if it's your first time here. And as usual, we really appreciate you joining our episode and creating time to watch our episodes. Right.
We'll see you on our next episode.